Yankee Doodle went to town riding on the chicken. Put his finger up, finger licking.
We're going to do a random cold open with that one. Good job.
Hi, and welcome to the Backyard Road Trips podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm Jim.
I'm Daniel Jones.
And here we got Danny with us. So, Danny.
Hey, Danny.
Happy to make a nice appearance. Our collective son, Danny. So,
for the tax purposes. Yeah.
We are talking about a few things today. First of all, it's March, right? This might be airing in April, but it's a spring.
March 1st.
Is today March 1st?
Yeah.
It was yesterday the last.
Spring is, I feel like a lot of times we'll talk about spring and, here, just because it's kind of not just the rebirth, but kind of get your traveling shoes back on and get yourself out there for some fun activities. Jim, you got any spring travel plans?
I do. No spring training, no spring travel plans. But you guys just had a big trip.
Yeah.
Went to Philly.
Definitely didn't feel like spring that trip.
Tell us about it.
So, Danny, let's talk a little bit about our trip to Philadelphia. It's kind of become an annual trip. That the impetus on this one was that my cousin Emmy, she is the events director, coordinator, something at the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Yep, the art museum, and she is going to be. We have another special guest with us too, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
So Diamond Dave. So. That and another special guest. We have Jackie.
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. Yeah. Wow. The numbers are just growing exponentially.
Dave, you're gonna actually have to sit on Danny's lap. The microphone use. No,
you don't mind.
So we were
pilgrimage to
Philadelphia because my cousin works at the art museum, and to experience the art museum while she still works there.
Yeah.
Basically.
What'd you think, Danny?
I saw a urinal.
You saw a urinal.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you mean you saw a urinal?
I saw a urinal.
Like in the bathroom?
No.
My brother, you don't have to go to Philly for that.
Explain this.
Marcel Duchamp, right? You saw it was a piece of art.
Oh.
It was a piece of art. Was it used?
Was it crappy?
A little bit was brown.
Yep. So that was your highlight of your the art museum?
Yep.
Seeing the toilet?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. You wanted to actually try to make it in.
You wanted to take a little hey, I mean they shouldn't put it out there, right? If you're not going to use it.
So you had a scavenger hunt to do, right?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's funny how he wants to be on the episode and then doesn't answer
talk. Yeah, I know.
any questions for you.
Maybe I'll ask Dave these questions instead.
Dave, did Danny like his time at the art museum?
Yes.
Let's pipe down, you. We're asking Dave about your time.
Yeah, speak for your agent, okay?
Danny loved his time at the art museum.
He knew he wasn't bored at all. I don't think he didn't say like right away, "I'm bored."
Oh, that's good.
Maybe I'm being sarcastic.
I picked up the sarcasm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't. I
Pretty
lost
thick.
It. So
what were your
Buddha.
favorite part of the trips? Buddha. Yeah, we saw Buddha. So not the real, not the real Buddha.
The b-ball game.
Basketball. So tell us about the basketball game.
It was we were on the top. We were the highest seats in the house, and then we didn't have any seats.
I was going to say, how are your seats?
We were all. They thought we were all in wheelchairs.
So whose seats did you take?
The players. They had to lag them up the elevator.
Zach, how about a little?
Do you want me to
context
clarify
here?
a little
Yeah,
bit?
that'd be great.
Okay, yeah. So it was going to be the Sixers game was a lot of fun. Sixers Celtics. So
Celtics
cool.
won by 20 points.
Nice, a good beating.
Yep, a good walloping. So I was nervous about the game because my dad doesn't walk so well and things like that, and the idea of like getting in and out of seats like in an arena didn't really sound like could be tough. It could be really tough. So my mom got on the phone with the ticket department or whatever at
Ticket department.
at Wells Fargo Center where they play, and got in touch with somebody that was kind of a higher up. Said, you know what, I got some great seats for you. They're, handicap accessible seats. So we looked at the tickets. They came through the email or whatever, and they're called Revolutionary Row. I was like, okay. So I looked up what Revolutionary Row was, and they're saying these are
The highest,
but they've been redone. In this whole highest section, there's only one row. The whole thing is one row, and then you look over and you see the game. There's no seats behind you at all.
Nice.
There's bars.
But some people are getting drunk behind you.
True, they're getting drunk behind you. Better than getting drunk in front of you. So it's like almost like a restaurant feel. There was fireplaces, there's leather couches.
Wow.
It does not look like you're in an arena.
That's cool.
Remember when arenas were just concrete, back in my day, stadiums.
Back in my day.
So so we get there, we got this Revolutionary Row seats, and I'm looking, and these on the websites, it's like, these are VIP tickets, blah, 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 blah. Like, maybe there's some season ticket holders that these aren't sold. I'm thinking these are mostly season ticket holders on this row. I'm like, okay, the guy must have been really nice, whatever. We got these seats, let's be happy about them. You take an elevator up to this section, so there's no worry about anybody around us.
And
So
then we
great.
see our chairs were 9 through 12, but we only saw 8 through 13.
Yeah, well, we saw 8 through 1, and we saw
Yeah.
13
Through
plus.
plus.
And I'm like, where are our seats? So there's 4 spots with the handicap insignia on the ground, and those are our spots.
All right. Well,
Those are our spots, and I'm like,
got a little leg room.
okay. So then we had to, as Danny said, get somebody, and it took a long time, like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And they hauled up the seats that they use on the floor. Those ones that are like. So then Danny was laughing because the 2 coaches of the Celtics and the 76ers are up the whole time on their feet.
Yep.
He's like, I think we took their seats.
Oh,
So,
there it is. Oh, that's
So-
pretty clever. That's pretty clever.
yeah. It ended up being a fun game, but yeah, it was a little bit of a hectic at first.
Oh, I mean, yeah, hectic at first, but if you got to go to a game, a good blowout is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Get them Sixers, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Did you boo anyone? Did you do any heckling?
No.
No, he says no. No.
What else did you do? What else did you like about a trip?
I liked the Reading Terminal Market.
Oh yeah, good
course.
food. Yep. So we got to go to Monk's, which was a cool spot. Monk's was always rated one of the best bars in the country. It's a Belgian bar, kind of resembles like a dark Irish pub.
Cool.
Inside. Yes. So then, but the beer selection is known for being one of the best in the country. They had on tap, it was a very special release, Pliny the Younger, which is a triple IPA, and so that was a kind of cool thing to be able to try. But because of that, we got there at 11:45. By 12, it was standing room only.
Wow.
We got a seat.
Wow.
We had mussels moule frites, so we had mussels and fries.
What did I get?
We got a hamburger.
Oh yeah.
And I finished this hamburger by
Stout.
dipping it into the sauce of the broth of the mussels. So good.
And then
Sounds
you
great.
didn't eat dinner that night.
I didn't eat dinner that night. I was so full, and I got to
Wow.
have also a brown ale that was aged in Pinot Noir barrels for a few years.
How was
It
that?
was really good, very complicated.
make
Like it was
me
another
hyper.
Russian river. It's called Supplication, and that was excellent too. But yeah, I ate a lot.
Nice.
Yeah,
This sounds great, Danny. Was your experience at the bar just as good as your dad's? What did you think of their drink selection?
Good.
Did you get a chocolate milk?
I got a Coke.
You got Coke?
A large Coke.
Get a vanilla ice cream?
Then he kept on saying he had a brown ale.
Danny, that's so good.
So the rest of the trip, he was referring to Coke as brown ale and getting very hyper when he was drinking the brown ale.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, so those were some of the highlights. We also went to Doylestown, which was a neat place. Went to a record store. Danny heard some good language when we were in the record store.
What kind of
What?
language did you hear?
So,
What? I
I don't know, maybe you
did?
didn't notice, but there
Oh,
was some
that's great.
swearing going on.
A little bit.
There was?
Yeah, okay, I'm glad you
Sea
didn't notice.
suckers and some.
So then,
Like the F word. Friendly.
right,
Friendly.
exactly.
Friendly.
Good restaurant. So then that was fun.
Jack, uh-oh. Jackie comes storming in. Go ahead, Jackie.
What did you learn?
Friendly.
Oh, was that the F word you learned?
No, I didn't hear. I was just giving an example.
Friendly's a great word.
I like that word.
Kind of like team.
Yeah.
Fire truck.
Well played, my friend.
So,
Back to you, Zach.
okay, Jackie's maybe more like the Flavor this episode.
No,
than
she's
Danny.
doing great.
Yeah.
You're both doing great.
So, anyway, Doylestown was cool. Went to this place called the Mercer Museum, which was all these. You'd like it. It's anything that the guy considered a tool. So it could be a chair, it could be a boat, and there was 5 stories of this large, like a castle.
A socket
building.
wrench.
Oh yeah, well, a real tool. Yeah. So and he had these things hanging from the
Stamps.
ceiling.
And then
Yep.
I did a
Steps?
scavenger hunt
Mm-hmm.
for stamps, and then they're like supposed to stamp it, and then I was trying to do it. Then he was trying to help me, and then there were kids like pushing me. So
What?
I couldn't.
You throw elbows? Yeah.
Threw him over the railing.
Danny doesn't take nothing.
Yeah, that's it. Right onto one of those suspended chairs. That was cool. The Mercer Museum was kind of a funky place.
Did you finish the scavenger hunt?
Yeah.
Nice. Good job.
Then I forgot to get him the prize.
Oh, man, that's the whole point of the
I
scavenger.
offered to
What
take
was
him
the
back.
prize?
Certificate.
All right.
Yeah.
You didn't miss a certificate.
Yeah.
Another
Give me
piece
money.
of paper.
Yeah.
And then we went to a cool playground.
Outside playground?
Yep. It was like the
Wasn't it pretty cold when you guys were there?
Yeah, it was very
It
cool.
was.
No snow on the playground?
That was the warmest day, and it was like 35 maybe in
Okay.
Whitney.
The playground was
40?
huge.
Tell me about it.
It was like a huge castle that inside everybody was screaming, and there was only one slide, and then it was too loud, so I went on a tire swing.
But it was like a literal castle. It's called
Yeah.
Kids Castle. It's
That's
a
pretty
couple-
cool.
couple
Did it cost
stories
money to
big.
get to? Is it free?
No, it's free. It's like
free.
the park
It's a
playground.
playground.
Nice. Oh, well, geez, man. You know, some of these places and cities.
It's on city.
Yeah.
Doylestown.
Oh,
We were outside.
I don't know if it was a borough.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Count.
Joe Burrow.
Right.
You are your dad's son. That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
It's like the prairie dog out of the, from the winter.
A groundhog.
Groundhog. Yeah, no, whatever. Prairie dog.
He's bird.
Speaking of that, last time we got together, we were talking about. Actually, we weren't even together. We were virtual.
That's right.
We were talking about
We
the
were?
beating the winter blues.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, we have beat the winter. But did you beat the winter blues?
Is it considered seasonal depression if it's all year round? No, I'm just kidding. I think I beat it. I think I did fine.
Yeah, you did fine.
I didn't
Okay.
have like a bad winter at all. It was good.
It's
I think
good.
having kids makes everything go by so fast
This
that
is
you
true,
don't have
yeah.
time to wallow in any sort of pity.
No.
So, how about you?
It was February was super quick.
Yeah, it's
January
already
took a
done.
while, but February
Yeah.
was like, damn, this is quick.
I think it helps
January
that the
for
weather
March.
very recently has gotten nice.
Yeah, this last week was a good one. How about you, Dave? Did you beat
Dave?
the winter blues?
I did. It's been
You were having the winter booze instead.
that's how you beat
it's
it.
been quick again. January was a bit of a drag. February, as you said, went quickly. I think having February break
Yeah.
helps. A lot of traveling there.
Where'd you go?
Went to New York looking at colleges with my son.
He's
Wow.
going to college.
Where about?
We went to Ithaca and Cobleskill, and we also stopped by the Woodstock, Kingston area to check out those areas.
Very good to go during the school year in Ithaca and all that, where it's upstate and it's just a frozen tundra. And not
Well,
during the summer.
so we were out there. We left on Sunday when we got all that snow, and it basically Sunday rained most of the ride.
Really?
Then when we got there, I don't know if you know Ithaca, but it's a lot of hills.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So- The snow kicked in about the time we got there. So we went to get something to eat, and there were just cars sliding down the hills into poles, up onto sidewalks. I finally just said to my son, we need to just find a parking spot and find something to eat and get out of the car because I don't want to get hit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that was, and it was freezing. It was,
Yeah.
the wind was blowing, the snow it was miserable, but it was a beautiful area. I
Yeah.
liked it.
Was it gorgeous?
Yeah, did you go see the gorges? Ithaca is gorgeous. Did you get that T-shirt?
I did not. I missed that. It was worth seeing. I think it was a good ride for him. Again, getting a feel for how far away it is.
Was he interested? What does he think after the end?
He was really impressed with. We went to Cobleskill for one of the Sunnis, and he loved it there. So that was sort of, he really loves the barn aspect of things. So that was where we were at. We got to see the barn, the dogs, the
Barn dog.
the school has dog training.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, so we
could train Hamlet.
Think he needs a little training, yeah.
go all the way to New York to
He's
train
a
the dog.
he's a little big like a ham.
That's true. He's gotten a little bit hefty. So, okay, haven't we all?
Maybe he could be an omelet.
It must have been a nice to just explore somewhere new and
It
take
was
a trip
nice.
with Will because he'll be leaving you soon,
Well,
flying the nest.
And he's been so busy that it was nice to just have the time in the car where we're confined, just the two of us, to kind of connect, figure out, the things that are happening in his life. He sort of solidified a lot of that. So he's going on a trip in March that he was able to get the logistics settled on the ride. He was able to do a lot of the scholarship things for the college applications. Again, it was just a lot of downtime away from the usual distractions, and he could focus completely on what was at hand. So it was nice. It was sort of like a throwback to before he could drive, and he was confined to driving with me all the time. So I don't see him as often now because he does have that freedom,
right?
And he's going 1,000 different directions. And
it is funny about that because I know like Danny will talk about travel, and Danny does love to travel. It's great. But Danny's going to be 10 this year, and I was telling him that even, let's say, our Pennsylvania trip right now, he goes because the others, especially Tommy, wouldn't be able to really do the art museum.
Offense, Tommy.
And so things like that. Not his interest. And he also has a knack for making it not anyone else's interest while he's there. So we decided to leave those guys at home, but there'll be a time, not too long from now, maybe 5-6 years, maybe even 4 years, that you might be like, I want to hang out with my friends, or I want to work my job, or whatever it is, and not really have that. I mean, my parents offered to take me to Europe in high school, and I said no. So I didn't realize that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I said I want to hang out with Jim instead. So
Big
mistake. Yeah, I know. I could have been hanging out with Juan and Pedro and Vincente, and no, I was hanging out with Jim. So that's it.
Luckily, you came around and were going to concerts with your mom at 21. So
that's Lou Rawls with some Long Island iced tea.
Aren't we going around Philly in the summer?
That's the hope. Yeah, we might be going back to. You guys want to go to Sesame Place?
Yeah.
So, be very cool.
That sounds cool. Sesame Place sounds neat.
Yeah, it's a nice music.
It's expensive, right?
It is.
Yeah.
We get a decent deal with being a teacher, which is good. But now, one thing we have coming up this month, St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, that's right.
Anything that you do?
If it's
corned beef and cat.
if it's on like a weekday, I'll wear my kilt to work.
Oh, you will, really? Okay.
St. Patrick was Scottish, as we all know.
Anything underneath when you wear it?
No. I do it the proper way, the way God intended. And
okay.
I'm wearing a kilt's heavy enough that the wind doesn't make any mistakes. Though.
Okay.
But no, that's about. I mean, I wish it's different when we were. I don't know about you. I don't really drink much on St. Patrick's Day anymore. It's not like
we're from Connecticut. If you ask Dave, I'm curious because Massachusetts St. Patrick's Day is like probably the second biggest holiday.
Well, is that because of Boston though?
It's because of all the Irish.
Well, yeah, which I assun was
South Boston.
Yeah,
where we live too. Marshfield,
really? where I live and we work, is commonly called the Irish Riviera because a lot of the people from the city moved down to their summer homes and then settled in Marshfield. So yes, it is a big deal.
Wow.
You'll get a lot of our students who think that it should be a federal holiday, that we should not have to go to school for that.
That's
funny. It was.
I'm sure the teachers are okay with that too, right?
Well,
we want the day off for
not
a little
this year. We
day.
started late, so we're getting out late.
Yeah.
I don't want to be going too much further into June.
That makes sense.
St. Patrick's Day, did we fly our kites in Harkness?
Yes, we did. Went to Harkness and flew kites, which was very fun. We joke that in Marshfield, in these towns, if you're a guidance counselor, they go by letters of their student's last name, and one guidance counselor just has the MCs. Oh, the Micmacs. Yep, and then another one just has the O apostrophes. So,
Riley's.
So exactly. Yeah.
O'Shea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't. St. Patrick's Day has never been a thing, but Danny, you're right. So your mother has been making corned beef and cabbage, which has been kind of a fun thing. But yeah, growing up in Connecticut, it just wasn't a thing. It was my grandmother's birthday is how we celebrated it, but not like wasn't a big deal. But
Dave, that is a
Boston and
different
environs.
story for you growing up.
So in my neighborhood growing up, we had a family move from Southie, and it was a big. They were a huge family. I
Last
think
name was Bulger, I believe.
they were our ties.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they had 11 kids, and it was a big deal. Like they brought the Irish to the neighborhood.
Wow.
It became a big thing within the neighborhood. Like it was what you did. It was a celebration. And growing up, I had an aunt who lived in Southie, so we'd go in for the parade. And luckily, she lived on the route, so we could stay in her.
Oh, cool.
We could stay in her apartment and watch from the safety of the window rather than being down. And, but we learned a lot. My brothers and I learned a lot from that, watching the.
Like what?
We learned what drunken belligerent was, and the guy trying to take a nap in the doorway across the street and getting beat up because by the owner, things like that you witness. Like, why are they being mean to him? It's like, now you look at it and say, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Back then I thought he was just tired.
Probably was tired from getting beat up on.
Well, I'm tired before he got beat up.
Yes, yeah, totally.
Tired, all right. Tired of being sober.
Yeah.
Who is?
Did you ever do anything for St. Patrick's Day in Needham?
Just the typical corned beef and cabbage kind of
Told
meal.
you.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, it's funny because when I went to Providence, a lot of the girls I ran with were from Ireland, and corned beef and cabbage was not what they. That's an Americanized meal.
Oh, classic.
So they didn't really care for it.
No.
Well, no, because
What
they
do they
don't. They
like?
don't have St. Patrick's Day there.
I know.
Yeah.
So it kind of was just like, oh, this is funny to them.
Do we need a real holiday just to? That's an excuse to drink, though. Isn't that really what we're here for? Is the drinking?
Well, I
That's
mean,
any holiday.
any
Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Right.
And
Especially for the Irish.
are you Irish?
I am.
Okay.
He's
I'm
like,
wa-
you're not allowed to say that if you're not
I
Irish.
am.
Dave
Which
is gonna
portion?
get you.
Which portion? I'm probably 0.0. No.
Yeah,
I'm
more Irish than
Irish.
Liz Warren.
Yeah.
I'm Irish. I'm like everything.
And does that
Yes.
come from the mother's side?
My mom's side, yes. So that is legit.
Next door, growing up, they had a party every year. The Fly Hive set.
Yeah,
Fat. So again, it's,
strikes me as awfully Irish.
yeah,
Anyway. Yeah.
Flahive. Fly Hive. That's how I pronounced it in Ireland. Flahive. Yeah.
So your years in the city, was there a lot going on during St. Patrick's Day?
We did the parade twice. Or I
Okay.
did the parade twice. One time was kind of funny. I didn't know. I just knew Southie was a bad area. That's all I knew. Like, you didn't go to Southie. And I remember being on the parade route, and they said, don't go off the parade route, basically. This is before Southie was all gentrified. The fun fact was, so I had some big assignment the next day or whatever. It was a Sunday, and we ended up walking the parade route, but there was a corner that we ended up in the parade. So
You were in the parade?
yeah,
Wow.
so for the
Start walking?
the last, I don't know, maybe half the quarter of the parade, we ended up walking with like the Ancient Hibernian Society, and there was these guys that were like, definitely older and kind of like, why the hell are these kids in this? But then the guy that we were walking was like, oh, they're with me, and it was kind of so yeah, we ended up walking in the
Zach's been
Southie
in the
parade.
parade.
So I've been in the parade.
So it wasn't the gay pride section.
No, I was wearing a red jacket though, no green on me that day. I remember that. So
Shame on you.
ended up in the parade with Zoe Perry, who is now a famous actress. So
Oh, really?
She was the mother on the Young Sheldon television show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's Zoe.
And you knew Frances Beans. Bean? Kurt Cobain's
Beans,
daughter,
beans,
didn't you?
magical fruit.
No.
Didn't you know?
Eat
That's a
some
good-
beans, so you
Are
will
you kidding
too.
me?
No, I didn't know
You,
Kurt
like-
Cobain's daughter.
You went to college with someone who was,
I don't know.
you're messing around.
No, I'm not. Zoe is the only one that was
No,
famous.
it was like a musician's daughter or something like that. And
She was so her father was is an actor, and mother was a famous actress. So she's Laurie
maybe, did you have an
Metcalf.
Laurie
AOL
Metcalf.
screen name that was maybe that then? Or
I
oh, well, geez, I've derailed this. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so
I thought he knew more than just the 1, 2, but that's.
There's like random, but not like that. Yeah. I knew Angela Lansbury's grandson. I knew Debbie Boone's and Debbie Boone's daughters and Pat Boone's granddaughters.
Wow.
So yeah, so something like that.
Pat Boone?
Pat Boone?
Booze?
Not Booze, Boone. Pat Boone was a crooner. He is a crooner. He got
What's
Not
a
that
crooner?
and remember In a Metal Mood, he covered all the metal songs. So, yeah.
All right.
All
So
right.
St. Patrick's Day.
How about spring beers?
What is this? Like a Hefeweizen? Is that like
No.
what's a spring
Heifer.
heifer?
Mayflower always had a spring hop. Remember their spring hop beer, and I liked that.
I don't remember.
It was a hoppy red ale.
Okay.
It didn't last long. Maybe a
Brown
season
ale?
or two.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever had it, or if I had it, I didn't love it.
Black
I
ale?
don't know if I went to Mayflower as often as you did.
This was it was right when I first moved here. They had the spring hop,
Orange
which
ale?
which I
Yellow
really
ale?
really enjoyed. Some of the breweries have like a spring. I think Vitamin C has a spring. I think, Jesus, that dog won't stop. Okay, so now comes the fun part of it. We're gonna pivot a little bit. And what about being at the wrong place at the wrong time? You said this is kind of your forte of awkward situations.
I'm full of it. Well, why don't you start? What?
I don't know. I
This
mean,
is your
just
good
like
topic. Of,
yeah. I mean, just things like I remember being at school one day. You ever take a vitamin on an empty stomach? And like it stinks because it makes you like really think you're going to throw up.
Yeah.
So I totally forgot that I took a vitamin right before I had a meeting at work, and I had to like, present at the meeting, and I'm here like reeling, like I'm gonna vomit, and I'm trying to hold it together, like things like that. So that happened. Nothing bad. Nothing like falling down on cobblestones, but things that.
This episode now has to come out later.
That's
than the
true,
other one,
yeah.
So otherwise, no one will get this reference.
Also, I mean, even like the medicinal side effects are always fun. I mean, I remember getting on what was that for Lyme disease? They give you some big drugs.
Yeah.
And you can't be out in the sun.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, we were at this pool party because my cousins were in town. They rented a house with a pool, and of course, I'm on this medicine, so I got this like, giant hat that I've got to be under, with a big safari hat that just to prevent myself from burning. So,
Safari.
no
Right.
awkward situations.
I guess the one that really kind of comes to mind is
Yeah.
when Tim and I went to Montreal, and we probably talked about this at some point.
You
where,
got kicked out of Canada.
Yeah, that was the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So that was the people who were trying to get a place to stay with stole some beer, and we were waiting outside. We were just looking for a place to sleep, like the homeless. Told never to come back to Montreal again by the mountain.
With that trip, though, I guess a follow-up question. So you didn't sleep in the same place as these people in the end?
As the people that we took the trip with?
That stole the beer.
No, I think we did. I think
Because
we
I was
still
gonna
did.
say,
We didn't
where
get
did
arrested.
you-
No, I mean, what are we going to do?
Right. Yeah.
It was
So you slept?
March or April, and
You slept
Canada.
with people? You slept with robbers?
they
You're
were
saying?
people that Mr. Tim knew.
Oh, they were. He knew them.
I think he knew one of them from University of Hartford or something. I don't know. He was a
Oh.
very good dancer.
Mr.
And at the clubs,
Tim?
it was just like, let Tim go dance with some people, and he'll find a way. And I'm just coming along for the ride. But I don't remember if he knew them or not. I think he might have.
I don't
but-
think Tim ever had an awkward situation.
No, he never does. He's just like
No.
that kind of charismatic kind of guy.
Just kind of is able to blend right in and to kind of,
Be in a different
figure-
country and get us a place to stay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know he knew the guy.
I think so. It was all very
he
blurry
knew
to
a
me.
guy that was a robber? A thief?
Yeah, I guess in that moment he became a thief.
Yeah.
All
Now he's
because
labeled-
of you.
All because of us.
He
Yeah,
stole
they wanted
what?
to keep the party going.
It was like a case of beer. Or something.
Yeah, I don't know what they must have been drunk to think that you could just sneak out a big 30-pack of beer in a gas station.
Speaking of beer,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
this is so. The question I posed to a few of the gentlemen yesterday, we were out for one or two beers after work, and I posed, "What's the most amount of beer or alcohol you've had at one sitting?"
In one sitting, that was
Yeah.
well for me. That would have been when I tried to drink the 30-pack challenge.
You did that? You know-
Well, I didn't make it. And what I tried to do to make it a little easier is I poured all the beer in like a milk jug. I had like 2 milk jugs, but then it went flat really fast. So I was just trying to chug these milk jugs of beer, and I got pretty good into it. I think I did at least 1 jug of milk, but
So
I mean that was
15
a lot. It was
15 beers?
I don't know if it was
What's that,
15?
64 ounces?
64 ounces, and so I must have had a few. Must have been more than.
Yeah, so 12 ounces of beer. Where's Jackie when you need her? 24, 36,
There were
48,
several. I know it wasn't
60.
just.
How many ounces?
Get the abacus.
How many 12-ounce beers in 64?
All right,
ounces?
let's just get the
Oh,
calculator.
I'm gonna make
out.
this guy do the math.
No.
You don't want to do the math?
Fine.
It's a little more
Not
than
many.
5.
No.
A little more than 5. That's all you had. 5.3.
5.3. No, so we had like lots of these because I cracking open a new one is I just thought like cumbersome and I was like it's easier to just chug because like I can just chug beer.
So who were you doing the 30-pack challenge with?
Oh, myself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Nick Hamilton. I don't know, but he could
yeah.
drink too. He could drink
Okay.
a lot. That could never keep up with him.
I remember-
Mark, when I went to the baseball game or
Yeah.
Navigators game, they had like $2 beer night.
Yep.
And man, have you ever met Mark? Probably not. And Mark
So-
can drink like crazy, but
Mhm.
I was trying to. Anytime I tried to keep up with him, and I couldn't do it. But I think I got to 12, and he was probably at 18,
Mhm.
and that was just at
He
the
had
baseball
18
game. So
I-
yeah, he's pretty good at drinking
I saw
beer.
him drink 18 in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
At Lord Chesterfield. 18 Lord Chesterfield.
What?
Yeah, that was a kind of Yingling beer.
How many of you?
So not that many. I mean, I tried to do this. What's that? The we talked about this before, but the 340s
Yeah,
in 3 hours. So that would be
it's just a lot of liquid, no matter what.
120. I got through probably 90 ounces that day. So 90 divided by 12, Danny, what's that?
He's rolling his eyes for those who
I know.
can't see. It's
Yeah.
a lot.
I mean, it's a good
What?
amount.
How much?
But you're talking one sitting because the episode before
How
this is you
much is
drinking a
it?
lot of beer at the
Yeah.
How much is
Brotherhood.
it?
60, right. That would be
How much is
All right,
it?
90. What is it? 90?
Divide
about
by
90
12.
divided by 12.
I don't want to do math.
10.
7.5.
Okay, so 7.5 beers in 3 hours.
That's still a lot.
Yeah. The Portland trip is probably the most in one day, I would say.
How much?
Yeah.
One of the worst times I had was wine. I was trying to keep up with you and Craig.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah.
We were drinking wine?
We were drinking wine at the wine.
Oh, is this the Greek festival? Oh, yeah. This is how, like, what a great thing. I know this memory because this is when I called Jackie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she came
you were
to-
throwing up on the river back behind your
Dave's
house.
leaving because he's
Dave?
going to beat us all. Because
Dave's on beer 15 right
yeah,
now.
no, he said he had 30 in one sitting.
Really? Get over here.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
over here. Get on this
I know, I'm-
microphone. Tell me about 30 beers in one sitting.
Not proud of this, but yes,
Should be.
we
Last month.
growing up. Well, yeah, my friends growing up, we drank a lot. It was sort of what we did. There was
didn't
not
have
much
TikTok.
else to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not quality beer. It's lousy beer, but we'd always get our own 30-pack, and everyone would usually finish that. And this is between going from bar to bar to bar. So we've had a couple of occasions where we have finished 30 packs. We have done a number of things in college. I did the Century Club, which is a shot of beer every minute for 100 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
But that only sounds like a good idea if you're drunk. So I had already had a bunch of beer before that. There's also, we used to play bar golf. So a round of 18, you had to go to 18 different bars and have a drink at each one. But then there's always drinking between bars.
Oh my gosh.
So 30, and again, this is not good beer, Bud Light, Miller Light, Coors Light, something that's mostly water, but it is not uncommon. So once a year, my group of high school friends tends to get together and we go to New Hampshire for a weekend. And it's more or less the same thing. We hit a bunch of bars, we go back to the house, we drink a lot. So no one's really counting, but we start, I'm guessing 10 a.m. and we're going till 3 a.m. And it's
Wow.
pretty much just
Estimate
drinking and
what
eating.
the most amount you ever had in one like 24-hour period could be. 50?
I don't know if I'd say, although I did have I had a friend who on his 50th birthday went to Vegas and his goal for the for one day was to drink 50 Captain and Cokes to celebrate. So
50.
he thinks he did it, but he's not. He can't swear to it. So again, just getting back
Coke,
to
brown
this
ale?
is brown ale with the little captain in it. So that is sort of where I'm coming from. It's more. I always call it quantity over quality.
Yeah. Oh, you got a regular Wade Boggs over here.
I know. Yeah. How much
Eat a whole
chicken do you eat? Yeah. Tell us
3
about
for
Margo.
$5. I'd say.
Yeah, I know. Unassuming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Unassuming.
think so.
I mean, I remember
100
Adam.
beers.
I had to pick Adam up at a party. This is-
Our Adam?
Yeah, a couple of years ago. It wasn't that long ago. Adam won. So
Yeah.
he did the
My
30-pack challenge.
godfather.
Your godfather. He did the 30-pack challenge with somebody, 2 people. It was 2 people in a short period of time. He had 25. The other guy did 5. I had to pick him up after 25.
That's pretty good.
25.
I don't know. I mean, could you drink like 25 cans of water?
I couldn't.
Like,
yeah,
it's just
I
like, who
can't
cares
even,
about the beer side of it or like the
Yeah,
alcohol?
that's what
I think I
Yeah,
could. I think I could.
I think you could too.
Well, that's right.
Wait.
Right.
25 brown ale.
25 brown ales.
Coke.
Cokes.
Oh,
I think
that'd
that's a
be so
lot
heavy.
of caffeine.
Okay.
Jackie is not okay.
Stop sleeping for days.
Yeah.
He's going to get some right now. Okay.
Yeah, he just got into soda a little while ago.
Oh yeah, he kept him off the soda for a long time.
Yeah, he didn't
Good
like
for
soda.
you.
He didn't like the taste of it.
No.
So, but now he's kind of into it.
Uh-huh.
So,
Cool.
yeah. All right. So we'll pose any awkward situations for you then that you.
Nothing comes to mind. But I'm
Jackie's
sure there
nodding.
have
She
been.
knows some awkward situations.
For me?
Oh, all right.
Oh, she
Okay.
probably is thinking about for me. Yeah, we've already told that story.
Okay.
I think.
I'd like to hear Dave's stories.
I know.
I'm kind of based on the amount that I drink. I'm not sure I remember a lot of my awkward stories.
Mm.
I mean, I
Probably
know
for the
there
best.
have been a lot, but they're I don't know.
Mine was the knitting story. You remember that one? The backdoor road trip?
Oh,
I think I've said it on the air before.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
You just reminded me that. Yeah.
Yeah, that
you
one
want
was
to talk about it? Just review.
It's just that I was, just talking.
Cokes in the fridge.
Okay.
He's ready for it.
I was, I was just with Jackie and we were talking to a couple guys that were knitting, and
Knitting
I was
some
talking about
peppers.
backyard road
That
trips,
sounds weird.
social media presence, and I was just saying, if I were a scantily clad woman, I might drum up a little more travel interest, so just kind of being silly. And then I was talking about maybe I should do a whole tour of a few stops like
Yeah.
San Francisco and P-Town, and call it backdoor road trip.
P-Town.
So and then one of the older gentleman had his arm around the younger one, and I said to
Oh, jeez. I can't even
Jackie.
hear it again.
said to
It's so
Jackie in
hard.
the morning, and I said, I really hope me and Danny have that kind of relationship when we get older. Thinking they were father and son. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's painful.
Yeah, so there's so definitely.
Jackie's response was, "No, you don't. No, you don't hope you have that relationship with
Yeah.
your son."
Yeah. I felt awkward the next continental breakfast. I was eating.
Where they were serving you.
So they were eating next to us. So there's, I feel like I've had plenty of times that I kind of have stuck the old foot in the mouth. Jackie's done a few too.
Really?
A foot
Yeah.
in the mouth.
I feel like, building off of you, I feel like you and Mike
Mm-hmm.
have had a couple of those situations where you've had a couple drinks and decided to go out for another drink.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Mike's always
Uva.
big on, why don't we go, where would the women be? Let's go to the wine bar.
Mm-hmm.
And so Zach and Mike go to the wine bar together. And of course, the women aren't looking at them like a couple of eligible bachelors. They're looking at them as a couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely group of men.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcoming them into the fold.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one time. Yeah, there's
Well, foot and mouth is different than wrong place,
Hand,
wrong
foot,
time.
and
That's
mouth.
just,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
And-
Yes.
my whole life is one
Foot.
big foot.
Nah.
Mm-hmm. And
I
there's,
feel Dave is too, he's too together. He's too adult to really get in these kind of situations.
No, not true. I just am had I been shared the questions beforehand, like I was promised, I may have had a better story.
I texted them with you.
You got him like
text
5 minutes ago,
Yeah,
man.
or no, I emailed him.
No, I didn't check my email.
Check his email.
Oh.
Yeah, last night I sent them to everybody.
Oh.
What?
Okay, well, I'll get them Monday.
Okay, yeah. Not your school email, your regular email.
I didn't check either.
Oh, yeah. So I should have.
I'm out of office.
That's right.
I had places to be this morning.
Right.
I didn't have time to check my email.
Exactly. Yeah.
The bank. I had to go to the bank.
Did you end up going back to the
I
bank?
did go back to the bank.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jackie probably give you a few more of mine, but
What are some of hers since she can't be on the microphone?
hers have honestly been around
Come on.
gender.
Come over here.
Gender. Oh, yeah?
Gender.
Oh,
So,
Here
she's
she
getting up.
comes.
Hurry up, Zach. She's coming.
one of the ones that stick out to me, we had a server a few years ago who, and this is nothing. It's just like Jackie was trying to be polite, and I guess like if I have a server, I just say hi and thank you, and I'll take this as my food option. Well, Jackie said, whatever,
What did you say?
whatever he thinks or she thinks or he, I mean she, I mean he, I mean she, I mean, and then I was like, wow, Jackie, like that was not a fine moment. So that was probably one of the most kind of.
Jackie's got her head on her
And
hand.
she's
in
red.
shame.
She's red
Yeah.
right now.
Oh, I
yeah.
bet.
Hey, buddy, do you want to plead your case?
I was trying to be polite and I got flustered and I didn't know how to handle it. So I'm sorry.
Clearly, you had good intentions.
I did. So whatever.
The interesting thing was, I don't think there's usually the need to use gender when you're even speaking to someone. Like if someone's gonna say, okay, what do you want to drink? I'm gonna say, I will take a brown ale, please. I'm not gonna say,
Brown ales.
can she? I want her to tell me what to order. You know what I mean? There's not really.
That is a little bit over fabricated there. It was not quite like that.
No, I'm saying
I'm just saying for me.
Gender comes up. Come on, gender comes up.
So it clearly did.
Oh, yeah, this guy was telling me. I mean, oh, yeah, he was just telling us about the specials of that. Oh, she was just telling us about the specials.
Yeah, that was kind of the.
All right. And I gotta defend that Jackie because I do it all the time. So,
Okay,
yeah,
see,
I'm
we're in the same
walking
boat.
Larry David,
We're on the same boat? We're
Yes.
on the boat?
Mm-hmm.
the bigot boat.
Anything else that I have? Anything else that you think I've put my foot
No
in my
fun
mouth?
bathroom stories for him or any emergency.
Oh, I mean, that
He
happens.
always has emergency bathrooms.
Yeah, like
He'll never use
he
the
went
Munich
like he's
subway bathroom ever again.
Anytime I take.
like he went outside in CVS.
Okay.
Thank you. Tell that story, Danny.
And I went too.
No, sometimes if I have a beer, it does go through me quickly.
Sure.
Sometimes I'm fine. Sometimes, like yesterday at the brewery, I went 3 times, I think. Yeah, sometimes the beer really affects me. Sometimes it doesn't. And I had a beer before we went out for a walk with Danny, and it was not that long ago. And then Danny and my parents went over to the rail trail, and I took a leak in the woods. But then we were going to get ice
Like
cream
always.
at an little ice cream stand. Knew they weren't going to have a bathroom, so I was like, "Oh man, I'll try to go to CVS." So I went to CVS, but the problem was somebody was in there. It was a one-person thing. Danny came in there with me because I was afraid to go by myself at the CVS bathroom. And then I was just like, I really got to go. So I was at the drive-through of the CVS, and I jumped into a little patch of woods right at the highway exit. So you got the CVS drive-through right there, and there
I went
Doing what
too.
he had
I
to
know
do.
you did too. Yeah.
And then Grammy said you would be arrested.
Right. Yeah.
Not you, but
No,
Dad
not
would
me.
definitely.
Right. Yeah. So that was but those kind of things happen about having a spring a leak.
You got a spring leak. Dave, do you have any of these problems?
Many probably.
Well, I can attest to Zach having a tiny bladder, especially if we're at Trillium.
Oh yeah. Too bad the Christmas tree shop's not open anymore. I went there a few times.
But on a related note, did you already share the one about our time in Somerville?
Oh geez, no, I didn't say that. Oh my God, that was terrible.
Go ahead, Dave.
So-
Embarrass him.
Oh yeah.
Cry.
So Zach and I went to Somerville to a concert a couple years back. And we both went to a restaurant before. We got the same meal. We got a chicken sandwich. Then we went to the venue and we each had a beer there. And we had the same beer, but in the glasses, they looked considerably different. And there was something up with the beer.
One was cloudy and hazy, and one was like clear.
But, you know, being the troopers we are, we drank them down and we had no problems until the ride home. And we're going through the tunnel heading south. And Zach looks at me and goes, I think we need to stop.
Like 10:30 at night.
And I'm like,
11.
In the tunnel, huh?
Like, I'm kind of feeling that too. It's like, where's the nearest bathroom? So we're in the tunnel and there's no exits. And we're just like, where? So we found Chili's.
Yeah.
And we go in and it was arguably one of the more disgusting bathrooms I have been in.
Yeah. Didn't care though.
Any point in the storm, though, yeah.
No, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Even worse when you two were done with it.
Oh, it was a terrible situation.
Yeah.
It was like something in their body saying, "Get out!" Now.
Get out.
Immediately. Do not pass go.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was not a fun.
Yankee Doodle went to town riding on the chicken. Put his finger up. Finger licking.
We're gonna do a random cold open with that one.
For the NFA one.
Yeah.
Throw that on there. Yeah, I think that's kind of like everybody's been. I remember I had friends that told me bad stories about their kids locking them out when he had to go to the bathroom.
Oh boy.
They thought it was funny and didn't make it. You know what I mean? Like those things happen.
Like I hit you in the nuts with the ball.
You did, yeah.
And then you went to the hospital.
So,
wrong place, wrong time for sure.
Yeah. It's like an ultrasound after that.
All right, this was a great episode, fellas. Danny, thanks for sharing your wisdom today. Yep. Dave, pleasure. We got to get you on more.
30 beers.
30 beers. Danny will get there one day if he puts his
Get
mind
into
to it.
this.
Yeah.
For backyard road trips, I am the very embarrassed Zach.
I'm always the awkward Jim.
Dave.
I'm Daniel Jones.
And you can find us on backyardroadtrips.com and on your favorite social media platform.